Meteorologist Jerry Steffen, what are we looking at today?
Yeah, it's going to be like yesterday, a little hotter, maybe just above 110, plenty of sunshine, couple mountain clouds. But we have some changes coming away later this week. I mean, we're going to get the excessive heat back into Southern California. Humidity goes up, chance of mountain thunderstorms. We'll break it down for you. 7 day more on the way.
Okay, we'll see you shortly. Thanks,
Okay.
Jerry. Our top story this morning, we're going to start things off with a search for a missing Cabazon baby, Emmanuel Haro. Deputies with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department say they are unable to rule out foul play in the disappearance of the 7-month-old boy. It comes after inconsistencies with his mother's interviews with investigators. Emmanuel was first reported missing by his mother, Rebecca, last Thursday. Rebecca Haro told investigators she was outside this Big Five sporting goods store in Yucaipa, where she just changed a diaper for Emmanuel. She then said a man physically assaulted her, which knocked her unconscious. When she woke up, Emmanuel was gone. Our NBC Palm Springs' Brett Rosen traveled to Cabazon yesterday and has more on this story.
Yeah, I've been following the social media posts and seeing everybody's opinions. And
that's Franco, longtime neighbor of Rebecca and Jake Haro, parents of missing 7-month-old Emmanuel. Franco says a story like this haunts him because he, too, is a father of a baby boy himself.
This is heartbreaking. You know, I have a son of my own, and like if someone abducted my son, I would do anything and everything possible to find him.
After Emmanuel was reportedly abducted, both Rebecca and Jake Haro spoke out, pleading for the safe return of their baby boy.
I'm begging you, please, if anything, if you know anything, please, I'm just begging you, bring him back.
Forgive you. We won't bother you. We just want our baby boy.
But after interviews with investigators, according to the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, there were inconsistencies with Rebecca's story. And when confronted with those inconsistencies, Rebecca declined further questioning. Now investigators have conducted searches in both Yucaipa and Cabazon, serving several search warrants at the Haro home. Also coming to light, information that Jake Haro has a felony charge of willful child cruelty dating back to 2018. All of this leaving the community to wonder what really happened to baby Emmanuel, like Christina Topper, who once worked with Jake Haro.
From his past record, I think they did something. I mean, I'm a mom too, and there was no tears. Like, I wouldn't even be able to do an interview if somebody just took my baby, you know?
They even have to get a warrant just to search further into the property. I mean, that to me is kind of a red flag. I mean, if it was me, it's like, get whatever it is you need so that you can go find my son.
And that was our Brett Rosen reporting. The Palm Springs Police Department is rolling out major safety reforms after its review of the December 7th motorcycle crash at the Festival of Lights parade last year. The incident happened when an officer performed an unsanctioned maneuver and lost control of his motorcycle, crashing into the crowd that lined the parade route. 12 people were injured. The California Highway Patrol handled the investigation while Palm Springs Police conducted its own review, acknowledging lapses in supervision. Police Chief Andy Mills released a statement about the incident. Here's what he had to say.
There are 7 things that we found wrong and 7 solutions. And so I would like you to think through it with us, and I thank you for your patience, and I want you to know that we accept responsibility as a police department, and we will make sure this never happens again.
In addition to the video, the department sent out a press release outlining some of the revisions mentioned by the chief. They include tightening safety protocols, including a citywide ban on risky officer maneuvers, speed limits under 15 miles an hour during parades, and the hiring of a full-time special events supervisor. Additional reforms including retraining supervisors on incident command, stricter communication protocols, and a new fatigue management policy. City Manager Scott Stiles says the changes are about rebuilding public trust. The Coachella Animal Network is hosting an adoption event and affordable pet clinic and Fantasy Springs Resort Casino. It's tomorrow, Wednesday, August 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The clinic will offer vaccines, microchips, and pet licenses. No appointment is needed. A spay and neuter clinic for cats is also available by appointment with limited standby slots starting at 7:30 in the morning. The adoption event will feature available dogs and cats. All adoption fees are waived. For details on fees, services, or to book your spay and neuter appointment, you can visit CoachellaAnimalNetwork.org. Livestream Blood Bank is holding a blood drive this morning. It will start at 9 a.m. at the AAA office off Washington Street in La Quinta. That'll run until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The Desert Recreation District has partnered with the Coachella Valley Association of Governments to maintain the CV link. The agreement tasks recreation employees with keeping the 40-mile pathway clean and safe for pedestrians, cyclists, and low-speed vehicles like golf carts. The deal was announced last week and went into effect on Monday. Let's take a live look now from our Agua Caliente casino camera in Palm Springs. We're going to circle back with Jerry in the Weather Center for a look at your forecast today.
Yeah, mostly clear skies right now. 80 degrees, light winds, 34% relative humidity. Southeast end, thermal, 76 degrees. Not all that bad right now. 38% relative humidity. Those numbers falling to around 10% by the middle of the afternoon. Checking the temps, 72 degrees, Yucca Valley, 74 Joshua Tree, 85 at Desert Hot Springs, 82 Indio, 79 at Coachella, San Gorgonio Pass, 62 at Banning, a little warmer at Cabzon in the mid-70s. Now, nothing on radar over the area. We do have clear skies. Little marine layer that'll burn off later this afternoon along the immediate coastline. But 110 to 114 puts us above normal by a handful of degrees and plenty of sunshine to go with those temps. Dew points on the west end of the valley around 40% and 10% relative humidity. Now all that bad. 111 for Palm Springs today with mostly sunny skies. 112 at Indio, La Quinta, and Cathedral City. 113 today. 108. Desert Hot Springs. But Ma Nature cranking up the heat over the next few days. 113 under mostly sunny skies Wednesday, Thursday, 115. We do have excessive heat warnings in effect for a good area of the Southwest, including the Coachella Valley. I'll explain. Full forecast minutes away.
All right, Jerry, thanks. The punitive damages phase of a case against Eisenhower Medical Center is underway. This after the same judge already awarded $1.6 million to a former physician at the hospital. Our special NBC Palm Springs correspondent Vicky Vargas has that story.
The judge said that Eisenhower violated its own bylaws by muzzling Dr. Richard Loftus, then forcing him to resign. And that lawsuit goes back to the early days of 2020, before anyone knew COVID-19 would be declared a worldwide pandemic. But not before Richard Loftus says he knew what this could mean to the Coachella Valley.
This is going to be as disruptive to the world as our planet being hit by an asteroid.
Dr. Richard Loftus lives in Fargo, North Dakota now. He sat down with our NBC affiliate KVLY TV so we could ask the questions.
I think a lot of people wanted to minimize what was about to happen. And yes, there was a lot of resistance.
According to the lawsuit, the Yale-educated virologist went on the record early, asking that doctors inside Eisenhower be allowed to wear masks to protect themselves. Instead, he says he found himself facing medical officials who were COVID deniers.
What we got instead was a program officer who said, well, Asians romanticize wearing masks, and this is all being overblown.
In the months that followed, Dr. Loftus was accused by Eisenhower of being disruptive and inappropriate, even, they say, causing community panic. It's why at one point he took his COVID warnings undercover in this exclusive NBC Palm Springs interview back in 2020.
If we do business as usual, the hospitals will get overwhelmed in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Then a private social media post of his became public. In it, he wrote to other doctors, "I'm glad some of you are sheltered from what unbridled COVID-19 looks like. It's a hell show."
I was simply trying to describe conditions in a heavily hit area to other doctors so they could be prepared. It wasn't a critique of anything happening at my institution. I didn't even mention the name of my institution.
Hospital officials didn't see it that way, calling the doctor an alarmist. According to the lawsuit, hospital officials held closed-door meetings and then gave Dr. Loftus a choice: leave the hospital or sign a behavior agreement. The judge called it clever manipulation.
You know, there's no way in a million years I would sign an agreement. What doctor would say, yeah, as a condition of my having hospital privileges, I'll be supervised by a psychiatrist? I mean, that's obviously career ending.
Loftus says he left the hospital like a thief in the night. In a statement, hospital officials told us Eisenhower denies Dr. Loftus's allegations, disagrees with the judge's decision, and reserves its right to potentially pursue appellate review. Dr. Loftus says this was never about the money. It was about the toxic environment at Eisenhower.
They damaged my credentials, called me a mental case, and then sent me a bouquet of flowers. Who does that?
Dr. Loftus's attorney says in this punitive stage, experts will testify about the financial condition of the hospital and its insurance coverage. He does expect a ruling by October. I'm Special Correspondent Vicki Vargas for NBC Palm Springs.
It's time now for We're in the Valley, where we show you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley and you guess where it is. So let me show you the photo. Take a good look. Do you know where this is? You'll have a little time to think about it. We're going to reveal our location at the end of our broadcast. I'll give you a small hint before we get there. Coming up next on your morning news, facelifts in your 30s. People are going under the knife younger and younger. We'll talk to an expert about the trend. That's coming up next. But first, let's head outside and take a live look at your Agua Caliente Casino camera in Rancho Mirage. The sun just coming up this morning. Jerry's going to have your forecast straight ahead.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
The facelift was once thought of a procedure reserved for those in their 50s and 60s, but not anymore. In fact, a 2024 survey published by the American Academy of Facial Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery found that roughly 32% of facelift patients were aged 33 to 55. That's up 26% from the previous year. A recent article in the Wall Street Journal indicates that more women as early as in their 30s are opting for a newer kind of facelift, the deep plane facelift, to get ahead of aging and to help restore natural face balance. So what's with this new phenomenon? Joining us today is Beverly Hills facial plastic surgeon, Dr. Patrick Davis. So great to have you back, Dr. Davis. I was surprised to learn about this. 30s and 40s. Why are we seeing younger people getting facelifts? What's this new trend all about?
Well, thank you for having me again. This is always a pleasure. There are multiple reasons for this. I am seeing it in my practice too. You know, early 30s is still a little young. We are seeing that aging is not necessarily a gradual process. It's kind of a stepwise process. Science has shown that, especially in an article recently. So around the age of 40, this is happening, and around the age of 60, this is happening. People in my patients, by and large, want a natural aesthetic, and they want something that's durable, and they don't want to go to periodic aesthetic procedures. So they want a one solution, and that's what we're doing right now with the deep plane facelift. The deep plane facelift provides a more natural appearance. There's nothing that's in your face that is permanent. And you can go on with your life and do your things, and maybe in 10 to 15 years consider doing something else down the line. That's one of the major reasons why people are thrust in doing this at a younger age.
So how does the deep plane facelift differentiate from the traditional facelift?
So that's great. So the techniques have advanced. We age in a vertical process, so things fall with gravity. That's not a surprise, but it's important to then bring those tissues back up in a vertical manner. And in my opinion, the only way you can do that is through a deep plane facelift. You have to imagine it like you're making your bed. So you have your skin, maybe that's your comforter, and then underneath is a different layer, like that's your blanket. So I only go under the skin just a little bit, only to right about here. And then I go under the blanket all the way to this area, and I can control and pull that blanket, that structural tissue, and then the skin goes along with it. So it has a natural result, and then the stitches themselves dissolve, and now you're reset in a broad swath of area underneath. So it's not the skin's fault. The skin is not the issue. So if we're just pulling skin, we get those windswept looks, we get the incisions that you can see because there's a lot of tension on those wounds. It's not the skin's fault, and that deep plane facelift really helps to vertically restore and give a natural appearance.
So how do you know if you're actually ready for a facelift? What are some of the signs?
So you're going to see some descent in the mid-face. The cheek areas is a big one. This area right here is called the jowl. So there's a little ligament here that oftentimes you see this kind of pulling down. And then if you look at your neck itself, we have this muscle that's nice and thin. Usually when we're younger, it's one piece, but then it starts to separate and you get these bands through here. So all of those are important indicators for doing a procedure like that. It does tend to occur around the age of 40. They're in plus or minus 2 or 3 years that you're starting to see these things. And we're seeing that it's not necessarily gradual. People come into my office and I've seen over the past months, I've seen these changes for men and women. And I used to say, oh, it's more of a gradual thing. Maybe it happened over a few years. But we're actually seeing that that's not necessarily the case from a scientific standpoint.
Dr. Davis, what a fascinating topic. Always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary.
And we'll be right back.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
Well, Mostly clear skies in our Agua Caliente Casino Cam view here. For the third day in a row, we hit 106 in Palm Springs for a high. Today, we're going to see the numbers move on up. 108 is our normal high. 73 degrees at Yucca Valley, 85 at Thousand Palms. Right now, 83 in Palm Springs, 66 at Banning. Winds under 10 miles an hour. Not much happening in that department over the next few days. Clear skies over the valley. Plenty of sunshine. Nothing on radar, obviously. And Southern California stays in that dry weather pattern, at least in our immediate future. But we'll see some changes heading our way very soon. Right now, all the action over the Four Corners states, not a lot happening right now, but with the heating of the day, that will begin to fire up. So the monsoonal moisture stays well to the east of us today. That'll change later this week. But 110 to 114 puts us again a couple degrees above normal, plenty of sunshine, and relatively dry for us today. Going to be a nice day. 111 in Palm Springs, 112 Indio today, 113 Palm Desert. Overnight lows in the low to middle 80s under clear skies tonight. Tomorrow, again, monsoonal moisture stays to the east, 110 to 114 again on Wednesday afternoon. And temps include 114 in Palm Springs, 115 Palm Desert, 111 at 29 Palms, 107 at Cabazon, and about the same range of temps. The numbers do move up as you move into the next several afternoons. 114 Thursday. For Palm Springs, 115 at Indio. Now, because the temperatures are going up and humidity added to it, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So got 4 days going on, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with those numbers well above normal. Right now, the Coachella Valley under an extreme heat watch, which will become a warning as we move closer to those days. And we're not the only ones. It extends up to parts of Nevada and Arizona as well. Now, beginning Friday, things change again. Not only with the heat, but with monsoonal moisture being pushed in our direction. Friday, it looks like most of it will stay to the east of us. Temperatures are going to be up there too. But we'll get a few areas that'll see some thunderstorms on Friday. A little closer look. Mountain thunderstorms are a possibility Friday afternoon. Nothing for the valley. Saturday, it begins to move a little more to the west. So we get some coverage there with thunderstorm activity, and that includes the, again, mountains around the Coachella Valley. We could even get a few spillover showers around the Coachella Valley. Temps are going to be up there, 114. That'll be our high on Thursday. Likewise, Friday, 115 at Indio. So the numbers are going to be well above normal. And we're going to watch the moisture. Today, relatively dry. We'll see relative humidity, 5 to 10% today, but those dew points really climb up, especially Friday into the weekend with 60-degree dew points in the area. Okay, quick check of Aaron. Once was a Category 5 hurricane. It's now more north of Hispaniola, making its way to the northwest right now. You can see the range of that, even some feeder bands moving over Cuba, but it's moving its way to the northwest, eventually north, then off to the northeast. It could become a Category 3 storm just to the west of Georgia. We do have tropical storm warnings along the coast in some areas too, although that system will not make landfall in the United States. Anyway, today, 111 for a high in Palm Springs, moving up to 113 tomorrow. We have extreme heat warnings in effect for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Numbers back off after that. Mountain thunderstorms a possibility Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies These are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating. And we couldn't agree more.
Hashtag holiday calendar and a pop quiz coming up loosely related to one of the days that are happening today, brought to you by One Coachella Valley. What's happening today? Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. Some of the silly holidays you may not know are happening. I'm here to pass them on to you. National Hot and Spicy Food Day. It's today, but I celebrate it every single day.
You do.
It's a day to torture your taste buds, folks. Check out those spicy dishes, hot sauces, pepper varieties. You know, it's in season right now. I just bought yesterday some Carolina Reapers, which is on top of the scale.
No.
Oh, they're so good.
Do you just pop them in your mouth like popcorn, or?
I don't think I could do that with a Carolina Reaper, but I do chop it up in tiny pieces, put it on my salad.
You do?
It is, yeah, a little sweat. I like to sweat with my dinner.
That's an understatement. Whoa.
Carolina Reaper. I got them at Stater Brothers.
You did? Really?
They're still in stock there.
Oh, my goodness.
Check them out. Okay, National Potato Day is today. Today we celebrate the potato and its many forms from, you know, from twice baked and potato salad to potato chips and French fries, whatever you want.
So
Go
good.
for it. Potato Day is today. National Soft Ice Cream Day. I think we call it soft serve ice cream, right? Anyway, that's today. It's regular ice cream, but with less milk fat.
Oh,
Did
good
you
to
know?
No,
Okay.
good to know.
So get that today. National Aviation Day is today. It was FDR who established the first Aviation Day on August 19th, 1939. And we celebrate airplanes, pilots, everything related, I guess, okay? And we have two aviation-related questions in today's pop quiz. Here's the first of two, multiple choice. Bring her up. The Aviator is a 2004 biopic depicting the life of Howard Hughes during the 1920s through the 1940s as a successful film producer and aviation magnate. Name the actor who plays the role of Howard Hughes in this film, The Aviator. Who is it? Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Jude Law, C, Leonardo DiCaprio?
I'm going to go with C.
Mayor's got a C. Control Room. Remember the film? See it? Anyone? Yeah, I think everybody did.
Manny would like this question.
Yeah. Anything film related.
I love Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
Leo.
So
Leo.
good.
C for Leo. Okay, second question regarding aviation. The biggest hit to come from the folk trio known as Peter, Paul, and Mary is their single Leave It on a Jet Plane. The song not only topped the Billboard charts in 1969, but it also gave its composer his first taste of success. You can hear it in the background. Let's bring it up a bit.
What a great song.
Remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wrote Leaving on a Jet Plane? Is it A, James Taylor, B, Jim Croce, or C, John Denver?
Oh,
Leave It on a Jet Plane. Who composed that tune we're hearing right now? Okay, got two Bs. And Nicholas can't play because he knows the song.
It sounds John
playing it.
Denver-esque to me.
Yeah, it is. John
Yay!
Denver. Yes, 100%.
I love John Denver.
100%.
Yay! 100%.
50% in the control
Made my
room.
day.
Good
Good job, guys. I applaud you.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Jerry. Back in a bit.
Dream about the days to come.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news. Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Welcome back on this Tuesday, August 19th. I'm Mary Strong. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Jerry's going to have your full AccuWeather forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but first a recap of your top stories this morning. The Palm Springs Police Department is rolling out major safety reforms after its review of the December 7th motorcycle crash at the Festival of Lights parade last year. The incident happened when an officer performed an unsanctioned maneuver and lost control of his motorcycle, crashing into the crowd that lined the parade route. 12 people were injured. The California Highway Patrol handled the investigation while the Palm Springs Police Department conducted its own review, acknowledging lapses in supervision. Police Chief Andy Mills released a statement about the incident.
There are 7 things that we found wrong and 7 solutions. And so I would like you to think through it with us, and I thank you for your patience, and I want you to know that we accept responsibility as a police department, and we will make sure this never happens again.
In addition to the video, the department sent out a press release outlining some of the revisions mentioned by the chief. They include tightening safety protocols, including a citywide ban on risky officer maneuvers, speed limits under 15 miles an hour during parades, and the hiring of a full-time special events supervisor. Additional reforms include retraining supervisors on incident command, stricter communication protocols, and a new fatigue management policy. City Manager Scott Stiles says the changes are about rebuilding public trust. Martha's Village and Kitchen announced a brand new 5K fundraiser marathon this year. The 5K Spooktacular is on October 11th at Ruth Hardy Park. You can show up in costume for prizes, candy, and community fun. The footage on your screen right here is from the other marathon, the 5K Turkey Trot during Thanksgiving, that will enter its 19th year this November. Proceeds from both of the events help the less fortunate in our community. With a new school year comes a need for new school supplies, and thanks to the Walter Clark Legal Group, students can get the much needed supplies they need for free. The legal group recently donated 1,500 backpacks to the Coachella Valley Unified School District. The district will be handing them out tonight, August 19th at Desert Mirage High School. That starts at 6 o'clock. According to the district, the giveaway is open to the public. It's a drive-through event, so you can access the school off Avenue 66. Newly hired Palm Springs Unified Superintendent Dr. Marcus Funchess is talking about his first 100 days. NBC Palm Springs' Alondra Campos has the story.
The new school year just started, but for Palm Springs Unified's new superintendent, Dr. Marcus Funchess, every day counts.
Coming in as a new superintendent, you want to do a lot of listening and learning and reflecting on the strengths of the community and also the areas of concern. So one way to listen is to make sure that you're engaging authentically with the community.
His first 100 days action plan is clear: strengthen trust.
Thank you very much for welcoming me. Let's have a good day.
And empower students this school year.
Some young people don't have some of the self-esteem or the confidence because of things that they listen to or what they've been told. And so to try to fill that gap of believing in who you are, no matter what background you come from, that is just as important as providing high levels of instruction to our young people.
The plan includes community meetings with parents and families and connecting with not only members within the district, but also community leaders outside of school campuses.
What we do in our schools impacts the larger community. So if we focus on student safety and making sure that our parents feel supported and valued within our schools that helps them feel the same way about the communities in which they live.
During the course of the first 100 days of the school year, Dr. Funches plans to visit all 28 schools in the district and meet with at least 100 educators. A move, he says, helps them better understand the unique needs of each campus.
For example, some of the excellent things that I found about the family-oriented atmosphere and environment here, and everyone is willing to support. Some of the areas of focus that I'm starting to see is just creating this sense of urgency to build academic excellence for our young people.
By creating a strategic plan grounded in community engagement, Dr. Funches hopes to share a public report outlining his findings and the next steps for the district.
I challenged our leaders a couple weeks ago to imagine a governor of the state of California from this generation coming from Palm Springs Unified School District. That's the kind of excellence that we're looking for, looking to build.
For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
After the redistricting shakeup in Texas, now it's California's turn. State lawmakers just rolled out brand new political district maps, and they're already raising some eyebrows. Critics say this is a case of fighting fire with fire. Reporter Steve Large breaks down what this could mean.
These redrawn districts that we're putting before our voters are a temporary response to Trump's power grab.
Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas laying out new Democratic legislation to formally send these California redrawn congressional district maps to voters.
So I think it is pretty damn simple. California will move if Texas moves.
The effort by California Democrats to nullify Texas redistricting maps is now being fast-tracked. It needs to be passed by Thursday to land on the November statewide ballot.
Trump and Texas Republicans are responsible for all of this. We are only here because of them.
Let's not replace it with this joke. California Republicans are firing back, accusing the governor and Democrats of rigging the next round of congressional elections.
You can run, but you cannot hide. And we are not backing down from this fight. You are disenfranchising Californians, and we are tired of democracy dying here.
We have got to recognize.
The face-off comes as Governor Newsom leads Democrats across the country campaigning against President Trump in the midterms.
There are more districts that aren't touched in this process than there are those that are changed.
Democratic redistricting expert Paul Mitchell worked on the team redrawing the California maps. He says they included data on which Californians voted for Kamala Harris in the last presidential race.
Well, I think we were definitely looking at Kamala Harris numbers and other metrics like registration and multiple past elections kind of in their totality.
California's redistricting race. It's now a sprint to get these maps on a statewide ballot.
And that was reporter Steve Large. A California woman known as the ketamine queen has agreed to plead guilty to federal drug charges in connection with Matthew Perry's fatal overdose 2 years ago. According to authorities, 42-year-old Jasveen Sangha will plead guilty to several federal drug charges, including 1 count of distribution of ketamine resulting in death or serious bodily injury. Sangha is expected to enter the plea in the coming weeks and faces a maximum sentence of 65 years in prison, the prosecutor's office said in a new release. There is no word yet on a sentencing date. Perry was found face down in the heated end of his Pacific Palisades pool on October 28, 2023. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office attributed his death to an accidental overdose of ketamine. 2 doctors and Perry's live-in personal assistant have also pled guilty to ketamine distribution charges in the actor's death. The Department of Justice is set to begin sharing Epstein files with Congress. The department said it will begin providing documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation starting on Friday. This all comes after Representative James Comer issued a subpoena this month commanding the Attorney General produce documents related to Epstein. The subpoena had a set deadline for Tuesday for the department to produce the records. Epstein and his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, were charged with sex trafficking and other crimes in 2019 and 2020. Maxwell was convicted in 2021 and is serving a 20-year sentence in federal prison. Epstein was found dead in his jail cell in 2019 while awaiting trial. President Trump spoke about his push to end mail-in ballots on Monday. Trump recently posted about his dislike for mail-in voting and voting machines on Truth Social. When asked about it on Monday, Trump called them corrupt.
Mail-in ballots are corrupt. Mail-in ballots, you can never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots. And we, as a Republican Party, are going to do everything possible that we get rid of mail-in ballots.
Trump made the comments while in the Oval Office meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. NBC's Alice Barr has more on that meeting and efforts to end Russia's war against Ukraine.
After a warm meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky.
It's an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us.
Thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war.
And a striking gathering of European powers flexing their collective muscle in Ukraine's defense.
We want a robust and long-standing peace.
President Trump posting that he called Russian President Putin and has begun arrangements for a long-sought meeting between Putin and Zelensky. President Trump caught on a hot mic telling the French president he thinks Putin wants to make a deal for him.
I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that, as crazy as it sounds.
President Zelensky sharing a battlefield map, pressing to ensure any peace deal protects Ukraine's territory and includes guarantees against future Russian attacks.
What security guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything.
President Trump saying Putin agreed to allow security guarantees, the president not ruling out that U.S. troops could join Europeans in a peacekeeping force.
When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help.
European allies praising the push for peace while pressing for an immediate ceasefire, something President Trump has backed off of after his Alaska summit with Putin, now arguing negotiations toward a broad peace deal can continue while the fighting rages on. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
It's a dangerous problem in the U.S., and you might witness it while you're driving. Road rage is uncontrolled anger or aggressive behavior behind the wheel. Mandy Gaither has ways to steer clear of those road rage feelings.
From commuting to work to running errands, Americans spend a lot of time in their cars, and sometimes being behind the wheel can bring out a lot of different feelings.
Nothing is more stressful than being in traffic.
Psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says road rage can happen when a driver is unable to regulate those emotions, and she says some drivers may think they're anonymous behind the wheel and react in a way they wouldn't normally.
We could feel in danger, and this naturally kicks off the fight or flight response, which triggers cortisol to flood throughout our body, and this can make us feel very aggressive.
To steer clear of experiencing feelings of road rage, Albert says to first check in with yourself. If you're anxious, tired, hungry, or stressed, these are all things that can impact a person's mood while driving. And make sure your car is cool. She says hot cars can trigger hot tempers.
Turn on the air conditioning, roll down the windows. This is going to help you to regulate your temperature and help you to feel calmer.
Next, give other drivers the benefit of the doubt. Albert says we often attribute their behavior to being aggressive or a personality trait, but we can't see into their world. She also says nothing triggers road rage like feeling behind or being late. So she says to make sure to give yourself extra time before leaving.
This is going to help you to feel calmer, regulate your emotions, and give you the space to buffer any kind of delays.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Earlier, we showed you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley, and I told you I'd show you that photo again and give you one more hint before we reveal the location at the end of our broadcast. So let me show you the photo. Take a good look. Ooh, this gallery features a California artist. That's your hint. It features a California artist. Think about that. We'll tell you more about this location coming up later in our broadcast. But we're going to head back to the Weather Center. Jerry's there with a look at what's ahead in your forecast.
Yeah, temps are moving up. We're going to see some hot weather very soon. Yeah, the temperatures are rising over the next few days, along with the humidity. Even a chance of a few mountain thunderstorms are a possibility in our area. I'll let you know when. Full forecast and that 7-day next.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
We have some sunshine over the Coachella Valley. Agua Caliente Casino Cam view yesterday. For the third day in a row, Palm Springs hit 106 degrees. 108 is our normal, and we're going to see the numbers move up each and every day through later this week. 76 degrees, that's at Yucca Valley. Desert Hot Springs 84. A lot of 80s right now to begin our Tuesday in the valley. Winds light, and they're not going to be an issue. They will pick up out of the west around sunset. Business as usual there with the winds. Radar quiet over Southern California. That'll be the case. All the action taking place over Arizona later today. That's where that monsoonal moisture will remain today and tomorrow. 110 to 114 today, so hot and relatively dry this afternoon. Not too bad of a day, slightly above normal numbers like 111 in Palm Springs, 113 Palm Desert. Overnight lows, low to middle 80s under clear skies tonight. Tomorrow, the numbers come up by a few more degrees. We're going to see mostly sunny skies on Wednesday, 114 in Palm Springs, 115 Palm Desert, even triples up north and to the west of us as those temperatures do begin to rise as we move into Wednesday and even more so Thursday. In fact, Thursday 114 Palm Springs, Indio 115. Because those numbers are going to be in the middle 1-teens for us in the Coachella Valley, an extreme heat watch in effect Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. An extreme heat warning already in effect for eastern Riverside County, parts of San Bernardino County, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So 4 days of temperatures well above normal for Southern California. We're not the only ones. Good chunk of Southern California, Nevada, and Arizona are going to be dealing with the heat as well. Okay, let's talk about humidity and thunderstorms. Like I said, today and tomorrow it all stays to the west of us as far as thunderstorm activity. Friday, though, it begins to move in our direction. That high pressure center behind me will funnel it all on the western perimeter of that high. Most of the action taking place to the east of us on Friday. Friday, maybe a couple thunderstorms here in the area. Mountain thunderstorms are a possibility Friday, but more so on Saturday as all that begins to push its way to the west even more. So Saturday, we could see some mountain thunderstorms around us in the mountains again, and a spillover shower on the west end is a possibility. early. That's Saturday. Throw in Sunday and Monday for a chance of thunderstorms as well. 114 are high on Thursday afternoon, so it's going to be very hot. And humidity levels will begin to climb. Today, relatively dry, but by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 60 degrees or more for those dew points. Former Category 5 Hurricane Erin is now a Cat 3 storm. It's quite large right now. It did grow in area, but you can see its feeder bands are still over Hispaniola and soon Cuba. But it's moving its way to the northwest, eventually north, and then off to the northeast, staying away from the United States. No landfall here, but we do have tropical storm warnings around Virginia and North Carolina because of that storm offshore. Yeah, those rip currents are going to be bad. 111 today under sunshine, 113 tomorrow. Keep in mind, we're going to be at our peak heat Thursday, Friday, Saturday with an extreme heat watch. Numbers back off, but we could see some mountain thunderstorms in the area Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, welcome back. Hockey continues to grow here in the Coachella Valley. You've got travel and rec leagues to high school teams and even academies. Well, yesterday, the Berger Foundation Iceplex held a sled hockey event. SoCal Adaptive Sports hosted the event for all ages. Over 50 guests attended to learn all about sled hockey, a sport with the same concept as ice hockey for those with physical disabilities. Founder of the organization, Mike Rosenkrantz, proud to bring the event to the Iceplex and looks forward to the growth of the sport right here in the Coachella Valley.
And we're out here at Berger today to do some sled hockey. As you can see behind us, we had a really good turnout. We want to make sure that there are opportunities for anyone with any ability to be able to participate. That's what this is about. We're all about social inclusion.
Well, to learn more about the organization's mission and next event, you can visit SoCalAdaptiveSports.org. Pretty remarkable. Just about every sport you could imagine on there. Now, it's officially game week for schools across the Coachella Valley as the Friday night lights will shine bright for the next 10 weeks. The Rancho Mirage Rattlers will kick things off Thursday night at home before we all get ready for a full slate on Friday. And then more than just highlights, we'll meet the players and coaches, even get an inside look on how the programs are run. You can watch our preview ahead of kickoff this week on our website at NBCPalmSprings.com. It is up there now as we speak, and we're going to be adding flag football to the slate this season as well. All the latest highlights and scores from around the valley right here on NBC Palm Springs. And that'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Are you looking for something new on home video? David Daniel has a series of new offerings out today, starting with the latest film from one of the world's biggest stars. Take a look.
Everything you were, everything you've done has come to this.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the apparent culmination of the blockbuster franchise, arrives on digital platforms today. Bonus elements include behind-the-scenes featurettes and commentary from Tom Cruise, director Christopher McQuarrie, and others.
Jerry is that disruptor, that innovator. You're not much of a gambler unless you're going against the popular trend.
No one ever thought Jerry had the guts to fire Jimmy. You don't know half the stuff that was happening.
Netflix debuts two very different documentaries. The series America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys, shows how owner Jerry Jones made the Dallas Cowboys an iconic franchise, while Devo digs deep into the history of the ahead-of-its-time art rock band.
They didn't know what to do with it. It was true. This was still years before MTV came along.
This country is corrupt beyond repair, so we gotta save it. It's not gonna be easy. We'll have to do some terrible things for the greater good.
Finally, Season 4 of The Boys arrives on Blu-ray and DVD today, including deleted scenes and gag reels. The 5th and final season of the R-rated superhero series is expected to debut next year. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you'd like more information on the stories we're airing in our broadcast today, you can go to our new website, NBCPalmSprings.com. We've got our top stories right there. In our newsroom tab, we're going to find our stories and community events organized by date. We're going to head outside and take a live look. This is your Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. What a beautiful start to this day. We'll be right back with a recap of your forecast and reveal our Where in the Valley special location. You're watching NBC Palm Springs in the morning.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. NBC Palm Springs.
It's time to reveal our special location for our broadcast. Did you guess where this is? This is the Perry G Gallery in Palm Desert on El Paseo. It's showing off the work of international artist Perry G. She's a painter and sculptor. The gallery is closed right now, but it will open back up on September 1st if you'd like to check it out. And the Palm Springs International Airport is adding a new nonstop flight to Charlotte through American Airlines. The service will start December 20th and run every Saturday through April 18th, 2026. The airport also announced new nonstop flights to Newark and Austin in season as well.
Ooh,
so
Austin.
lots of travel options for all of us out here in the valley.
Yeah, got to travel, right?
That's right.
I got to get out.
Yeah.
I spend too much time here in the studio.
You really do.
I gotta get out.
I mean,
I
he's
gotta
here
explore
when
the
I
area.
come in, he's here when I leave. I'm like, do you ever go home?
Well, forecast some changes coming up today. Kind of mild. 111 the high in Palm Springs, 112 at Indio. But looking at the 7-day forecast, yeah, the temps go up, as does the humidity.
Wow.
Beginning Thursday, it's getting a little sticky, especially Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Even a chance of a mountain thunderstorm. We have extreme heat watches, which will become a warning Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's right. Well.